Hi guys and welcome back. Bitcoin is pumping here, but time is running out and I'm gonna show you what is happening in 3 weeks and why we need to pay attention to that. But right now, look at my trade here. I made a trade, a little degenerate trade, you know, 100x leverage, but I'm up $7,000 on this trade. I plan to keep this trade until we hit $75,000, and I'm gonna explain you why I took this trade and why unfortunately you have already missed that one. Let's get into it. Don't forget to smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and now let me show you what's actually happening here. So first of all, I want to adjust my stop loss here again, just to make sure if it turns that I actually walk away with a lot of money, because I actually need $5,000 for something. Now I have at least $5,000 for something. Now I have my stop loss. Let it drop to 71,200. I'm fine now. Let's go into the charts, guys. So what's happening here right now, that the Bitcoin price is moving here to the upside. Remember, I told you guys that I expect that when we come up here again into this resistance, that this time we are actually breaking through this. So Bitcoin is trying to break into this resistance area here right now. And once we are doing this, Bitcoin will move into a new all-time high. So this could be the precursor for a new all-time high attempt for Bitcoin here. Why am I so bullish on this breakout? So because here was something. Was it actually on the 1 hourly chart? No, it was on the 4 hourly chart. So for one moment, I'm gonna switch this to a 4 hourly chart just to show it to you. So here was actually a bull flag. This bull flag was something I wanted to normally share with you guys on today's video before it broke out. But then it actually broke 30 minutes earlier out before I could make the video. You see here the technical target brings us to $75,000 if we are getting up there. Now we have broken out of it. As long as we close this 4 hourly candle above this downward sloping trend line from this bull flag, and we are only getting a retest, let's say at $70,600 and bounce back up, you can still enter this trade. If we keep sending to the upside, unfortunately you are too late. I gave you the last 3-4 days every time new entries to get into actually a Bitcoin trade. So if you missed all of them and now we are not getting a retest here where you get potentially into this trade, then I'm really sorry, then you missed your chance here. So now let's go back here to the 1 hourly chart. Actually there is another way how you can get into a trade here, but only one. And you have potentially to be fast when it's happening. And that is a 15-minute candle close above $72,900. If we get up here and we close the 50 minutes candle above it, but be aware, it's super risky. You can trade this into a new all-time high. So where is the potential new all-time high? Remember, I told you around 77-ish, 77, 78, somewhere there is a golden ratio. That would be then the target from that spot here. So if we don't get a retest and Bitcoin keeps sending and closes here a 15-minute candle above, enter this with a stop loss at 72,200 and trade this into $78,000. That's how I would do it if we are not getting here this retest. So if we get the retest, your stop loss would become that last red candle before the pump, the bottom of it, $70,000 more or less. Yes, so that is a good stop loss. And the target would remain the same, guys. The target would remain the same. I would maybe take a little bit profit here already, but otherwise the main target remains the same. So let's go back here quick to the trade because it's exploding a little bit. So 152%, $74,000 almost. Nice. Here on this 4 hourly chart, and we see right now that the Monday high gets broken from 2 days ago. And that is normally the precursor for continuation to the upside here. See here, the all-time high area has a resistance from 73,000 to 74,000. And once that area is clear, here you see here's the golden ratio, 78,351, actually higher than what I said before, to $78,700. That will be my target. So, but be aware that around $75,000 will be some resistance because it's a psychological number. People always want to sell at round numbers. So I would be fully aware of that. At around that level, we will get some selling pressure. Sorry guys, I have to, again, to adjust my stop loss here. I'm making too much money. We are lagging here a little bit, and Bitcoin tries to break here higher, and will take again a little bit. I have so fast internet, the computer is really fast here, but that tells you, you know, what's going on BYBIT right now. That's a little bit overloaded, and it takes so long to take my stop loss order. On my phone it would be faster. I actually did not even look how much money I will make if it hits my stop loss, but it's fine, you know. Let's see if we can break through this resistance today, but I'm quite certain we are going to do that. One reason for that is that we are getting here right now a buy signal on the stochastic RSI. The RSI itself is pointing to the upside, and we had here a small divergence going on. So here price action going down, RSI going up, small divergence. Oh wow, and there Bitcoin tries to pop to 72. I have again in a second to adjust my stop loss, guys. It's crazy. It's a nice day. It's a nice day because that's my flight money, you know, for my flight tickets. So I'm definitely enjoying this right now. But let's keep going here. So we have still the CME gap here, and I'm gonna tell you in a second where I believe this is going to get filled, and it has something to do with the 3 weeks that I spoke about in the beginning of the video. The funding rates, they are still neutral. So let me actually refresh the site. Okay, we are getting a little bit hotter here again across the board, but nothing too crazy yet. So which is fine. So now let me actually tell you, before I move into this, if you guys want to trade anywhere, trade with me on BYBIT. So you see I'm highly profitable on BYBIT. You use the link below here, or trade on Margex. There I actually have also a trade open on the strategy right now, so everybody is also making bank there. Go and check it out. The strategy is called AMCrypto altcoins. And if you can for some reason not use BYBIT, just use BITGET or Phemex. They are equally good. For example, if your restriction does not allow you to use BYBIT. And if you just want traditional copy trading, go to FAIRDESK. $120,000 still available in deposit bonuses, but only with these links you will be able to get all the advantages, you know. So because I negotiate that specifically for you guys, so take advantage of it while this is lasting. There in the description and in the pin comment below. So what is happening in 3 weeks that we should be a bit scared of? So in more or less 3 weeks, the Bitcoin halving is happening. So and every time when we have a Bitcoin halving, the Bitcoin price is dropping afterwards. So now, can the Bitcoin price go up in the meantime? So yes, of course. So we always have a pre-halving rally, and we are, so I believe, right now in that pre-halving rally. But afterwards, when the halving is done, normally we get a correction. The last time it happened actually just a moment before, like an hour, 2 hours before the halving was actually done. So people were front running then the actual halving event, and afterwards we continued to drop a little bit. So now I'm out of my trade, I believe so, but that's fine. So I made at least $6,000, I think. Am I really still in my trade? So we dropped on Binance. Did it not touch my stop loss here? So I will not complain if it kept me in it. Oh, it got really close, but I think it did not touch it. Oh yeah, so I got really lucky here, but maybe now. Oh no, it gets bought up. Okay. That said, you can see here every time when we have a halving, so here this orange line is the actual halving event, that with every halving, the price increased over time. See this here in the first halving cycle, which started in 2009 to 2012. So there was the first halving. Then the blocker rewards got halved. So the miners at that point were making 4,200 Bitcoins on a daily basis. So I think now I got kicked out. Yes, so now the trade is gone, but it's fine. And then here, after the next halving in 2016, again halved from 4,000 to around 2,000 Bitcoin. And now it's around 1,000 Bitcoin, so actually a little bit less. And this will be again halved in 3 weeks. So it's then only around 500 Bitcoins. So, and the price every single time after the halving increased dramatically because the supply the available supply that came into the market was shrinking. So, and you see this then also here over time, here on that red line here, that the smaller the remaining supply became, the higher went the price. And this is happening here again, and we're gonna see an acceleration of that right now because the ETFs try to buy as much Bitcoin as they can, and at the pace that they're going right now, there will be in 1 year no Bitcoins anymore available for the ETFs because they will have dried up all the US authorized exchanges that they can access to, basically have access to. They cannot buy Bitcoin from, let's say, Binance, or from Gate.io or from BYBIT, so because they are not allowed to operate in the US, so they have to go to other platforms where they can actually buy Bitcoin. And therefore, they're running here into a problem, a good problem for us actually. Here on this specific chart, you see here also after the halving event, the market valuation growth. So you see here, it's spiking already insanely even before the halving, and that would just continue to do so, So here also the Bitcoin number of days until the halving. So here you see the day count here in orange. And then what did I want to show you guys here? So also how the price increased with decreasing days every single time. So look here, for example, here we had then we had Corona, then we had the halving, and then we continued to rally to the upside. Here in this bull run, the same thing. Let me actually see, can I scroll here a little bit? This is not so nice here with this, this line. Okay, I can kind of see it. So here, again, here into the halving, we started to rally here to the top. Here, there's the top, and then we came down. So I expect something similar happening here today, again, this year. And I'm also going to show you where the target is to the upside and afterwards, after we crash, to the downside. So stick here with me, guys. What I also wanted to show you is that more and more people start hodling Bitcoin. You see that here on the hodling wave. And that the short-term to long-term holders are increasing. So, and you see this here. Look at this. The 1 week to 1 month, for example, in what is this, above the pinkish one, so the fourth one from the bottom. So you see there's like 5.7%. Now we go here more to the side to look what it is right now, because it's increasing. So you see this is that has almost doubled in the last 5 years. So it's overall for all people that are buying Bitcoin, this is going up, so this hollow wave curve. So which also tells you less supply on the market available, which drives demand up and also drives the price of Bitcoin up. I want to show you a chart after the liquidation levels. So actually, let me show that first to you guys. Let's get rid of the liquidations. Let's go to a weekly chart. But I have here some drawings already, pre-drawings. So this I can remove because that was old. Actually, I have a halving chart. I think I have still a halving chart. So here we go. So here I need to adjust this. Let me show it to you guys. Here you see in these turquoise boxes, we had the pre-halving run. And then when we got the actual halving, you see we had here a small correction to the downside. Here the same thing. We ran into the halving, small correction afterwards. So here I expect the same thing. The only thing is we can run higher than what I drawn here in the box. I just was not expecting that we're getting here higher. So this is $76,500. So I expect we can run to like something like 81 approximately into the halving. And then we get another downwards turn, something like this, and then move back to the upside. So where do I expect that we're going to stop to drop here when we come to the downside? So I expect this to stop. So why the CME gap? Because we are moving away price-wise from the CME gap, which makes it highly unlikely that we are going to close this in the imminent future. Every time when we are coming to a Wednesday, remember guys, I told you this, if today we are closing the daily candle without that we have filled the CME gap or are even close to it. So then by close, I mean at least $67,000 or $68,000. If we are not close to these levels here, then the CME gap here will remain until Bitcoin is done with rallying to the upside into the halving. And therefore, I'm not expecting the CME gap to close before the halving and just right after the halving. So now you have to put this into perspective. How much potentially of a drop would this be to the downside? So now if I go here to $81,000, we're talking here about another 18% drop to the downside. So I cannot make this up, guys. We just had an 18% drop. This would be another 18% drop. And that also makes a lot of sense, guys. In this bull run, because of the ETFs, we get smaller and smaller corrections than in the previous bull run. In the previous bull run, they were 20 to 30%. And we got, I think, like 50-50 of them or something like that. 30% was like the most pain that we felt. So here in this bull run, it looks like that 18% for some weird reason is the highest amount of pain that we are getting. So now, of course, that is only the top of the CME gap. I have to go to the bottom. So and that would give us almost 21% to the downside. So let's say we only create a double top. We go a little bit higher. We go to 75 and it happens from here. So that would be only a 14% drop to the downside. But this is not what I am expecting, So Bitcoin is getting heavily bullish here and we are moving away from its CME gap, which is telling me we are getting now our pre-halving run over the next 19 days-ish before the market will slowly turn around into the halving. Then Bitcoin will come down here. And that is the moment when we are here where you want to load up on your altcoins, because then altcoin season is going to start, guys. Remember, every time when we came into a Bitcoin halving and Bitcoin rallied into the halving, altcoins went ballistic just after the halving. So we have seen that before in bull runs. So be prepared for that, guys. Be prepared. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance is breaking here to the upside, unfortunately. But it's fortunately, some of the altcoins are still running with Bitcoin together. So it's not that bad. But I would have liked that Bitcoin stays basically under this downward sloping trend line here. But now we have formed a continuation candlestick pattern, which could mean that Bitcoin will keep pumping to the upside and that we actually go here to 54%, potentially break through this and stop here somewhere at 55 with a new all-time high, and then only turn around and go lower, which would coincide with a correction of Bitcoin. And then when we are here at that level, most likely the correction would be over, and then the altcoin season starts, where we see then something like this. So that is the plan that I have right now for the dominance. Then Ethereum. Ethereum is of course pumping with Bitcoin. So also we went here to the Monday high, but got rejected from there. Bitcoin is also moving down again. So luckily I adjusted my stop loss on the way up. So now we have to see if in the next 2 hours Bitcoin will come back and that it was just a stop hunt or actually a bear trap. So we find out in the next 2 hours here. Otherwise, we see the same pattern here. We see a bull flag on Ethereum. And here comes now your second chance to trade this on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Because if this is breaking out again to the upside and you get a 15-minute candle close, you can enter this now. So here for Ethereum, the target would be $3,850 approximately. I have already also an Ethereum trade running that I'm watching right now. But yeah, here that is the target. Once we're getting to this target and Ethereum would start to consolidate here a little bit, expect a push also into higher prices here for Ethereum. When we are having then a look here on the 12-hourly chart, I actually want to bring up the stochastic RSI here. Normally poised for a small correction. The question is how low would we go, but I would not expect that we go anything lower than the golden ratio here at $3,400. Bounce up from here back to the upside. This will of course change, if Bitcoin decides now to turn around and go to the upside, it will take Ethereum with it to the upside and potentially then already break this resistance level if Bitcoin would run today into a new all-time high. So, but yeah, I'm not seeing this right now. I watch right now only this bull flag on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, and if this is going to break out again, then I will also trade this again. So, and you can do the same thing. I think this video will come out early enough so that you can take advantage of that. And let me see, was there? So there was here, Fetch had actually today a nice announcement with Ocean Protocol. So they are actually now fusing and merging to one single project and will have their tokens also merged. That's why Fetch is running right now, because they have two separate AI technologies that they want to now combine to come out actually stronger with that merger that they want to do. So, and that's why Fetch AI and Ocean are running today. And remember, I gave you this trade a while back here. I hope that you took advantage of that when I told you get in at the golden ratio if we are above it, because we are running here into the next one at $3.67, and that's basically yeah, what's happening here right now. You know, we were more or less. Yeah, we are more or less halfway there. You know, we were a little bit higher than that already. And yeah, basically continue to run here. Yeah, that's it already for today, guys. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about a little bit more about altcoins. So you should definitely also tune in there. And don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again in the next one.